14 games against the Tribe and Yanks were supposed to be the toughest stretch of the season for the Sox. But it's been a clean sweep so far, and life is good in the Sox camp. They've knocked New York out of first place and now hold the best record in all of baseball. Today, El Duque tries to break the Bronx Bombers out of their funk, and Jimmy Parquet will try to keep the hot Sox cooking. It's all next on WGN. We are coming to you from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx where this afternoon WGN Sports is proud to present White Sox baseball. It's Carlos Lee. It's Max Ordonez. It's the Big Hurt Frank Thomas. And the Chicago White Sox is there, hosted by Derek Jeter, Bernie Williams, Tino Martinez, and Joe Torre's defending world champion, New York Yankees. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Bronx. With Darren Jackson, I'm Ken Harrelson, as we get set to bring you the finale of this 4-game set and this 7-game road trip. As you know, the Sox swept the Indians at Jacobs Field. They have taken the first 3 here. So the Sox 6-0 on this trip. They're now 19 games over the 500 mark. They've won 13 out of their last 14. And one of the most impressive records is in the last 21 road games, they have won 17 of them. And this afternoon, sending Jimmy Parquet to the hill.
Well, just like Cal Eldred, who won his 6th in a row yesterday, Jimmy is going for his 4th in a row. All he's got to do is probably mix it up the way he's been doing it, keep those hitters off balance, and he's got a good shot at winning his 4th in a row.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. It'll be Parquet against El Duque, and we'll be back with the rest of the starting lineups right after this. Finale of this 4-game set as Eddie Layton on our national anthem. And the Sox came in, got off to a good start, 12-3. They had some help from some errors from Chuck Knobloch. Knobloch yesterday picking up another error. So his 4th of the series as the Yankee fans trying to inspire the 31-year-old veteran second baseman. So as we mentioned, the Sox took the opener 12-3, and then Big Frank prior to the game. Just a few minutes ago, they did not take batting practice in Knobloch along with Chris Singleton and Ray Durham. Nobody likes to see anybody go through what Chuck Knobloch is going through. If you've ever played a game of baseball, I don't care if it's a guy you don't like, it's still your heart goes out to him. He certainly has had some problems, DJ, and it's just, well, he's just got to work himself out and get a little help to get that thing corrected.
Well, Chuck Knobloch is definitely a competitor, and he's a winner, so he'll seek the help that he needs to finally get back to where he was before all these problems started. So, you know, nobody in professional baseball is wanting somebody to be negative. You know, you want him to do good. I mean, the competition's there, all that. You want to win, but you still want to do it on the right lines.
All right now let's check out the starting lineup for the Chicago White Sox. With that record of 43-24, the best record in Major League Baseball. Leading off at second base, Ray Durham. Jose Valentin, the shortstop. Batting third, the DH, Big Frank Thomas. The cleanup hitter in right, Max Ordonez. Paul Konerko at first. Hitting 6th and center will be Chris Singleton. El Caballo, Carlos Lee at left. Greg Norton at third. And in the 9th position, doing the catching, Mark Johnson. Checking out the Yankees' defense in the outfield, Spencer, Williams, O'Neill, around the horn, Brosius, Jeter, Knobloch, Martinez in the battery. Jorge Posada and El Duque. Orlando Hernandez. Hernandez making his 14th start, coming in with that 6-5 record. He has beaten Anaheim, Texas twice, Toronto, Atlanta, and Montreal. His 5 losses has come at the hands of the Blue Jays, Tampa Bay, the White Sox, Cleveland, and Boston. So the 30-year-old right-hander out of Villa Clara, Cuba, 0-1 this year against the Sox, 1-2 lifetime. And his career mark in the major leagues is very fine, 35-18. Checking out the men in blue behind the plate, Danny Iasonia, Mark Hirschbeck, the crew chief at first, Wally Bell at second, Brian O'Nora at third. These guys have done one heck of a job in this series. It was a tough play for Wally Bell at third base yesterday. Wally on the right of your screen. And he just didn't have time to get in position. If he would have, the call would have been made correctly. But we have had some good umpiring in this series. So what's El Duque going to be featuring out there?
Well, he's a guy that's going to hit you from different angles, but he's going to run the fastball in on you, throw a straight fastball, cutter, a slurve, a changeup. He just mixes it up, keeps you off balance.
He's probably the closest thing to Juan Marichal that we have seen in a long time with all the angles. even more so, you know, David Cohn will give you a lot of those angles as he pitched well against us in Game 2. But he's going to try to trick you, and at times he's got a pretty good fastball. So we are just about set for White Sox baseball right here over WGN. There you see the Sox on this 10-game road winning streak. And here's Ray Durham. Ray stands in hitting at 276, 11 homers. He's driven in 39, 5 for 14 in this series. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. So Brosius in on the grass at third, outfield straight up. That's about where they'll be all afternoon on all hitters. First pitch of the ball game, fastball strike. Durham has faced Hernandez 14 times and he has 1 hit. So quite a contrast in the temperature. There he backdoors him with a curve. And the count 0-2. Yesterday at game time it was 90 degrees. Today it is 65. We mentioned neither team took batting practice on the field. They hit underneath in the cages. As he tries to backdoor him once again in the count 1-2. Sox come in with that 7.5 game lead over the Tribe. That's the biggest lead in all of baseball, as they have the best record, as we mentioned, in all of baseball. That's inside. The Sox would have a 2-game lead over the Braves, who are the second best. There's an off-speed pitch. Martinez ranging wide to his right. Making a tough play for El Duque, but they get him. On a close one at first, 1 gone.
Ray feeling that he might have got his hand in there under El Duque before he got his foot on the bag. It's a tough play, but good call by Mark Hirschbeck. Right on top of it.
Well, you know, you just got to thirst for. What's the first thing that pops in your mind on that play right there with Tino Martinez going that far to his right?
Is that you think you got yourself a knock?
No, I'm talking about from their standpoint. I mean, well, at least the first thing hit me was he just didn't want Knobloch to have to throw.
You're thinking too far out ahead for me.
I mean, that popped in my head as, I mean, Tino ranging, Knobloch standing right in front of the ball. That's going to be a tough play for Orlando Hernandez.
Well, you know, Tino got to that ball easily. So, you know, you take what you can, but you're right. It probably has something to do with it also. But Hernandez getting over there and covering the bag like he's supposed to.
Here's Jose Valentin. Jose at 254, 11 homers. Driven in 36, takes a curveball strike. Valentin, 4 for 8 in this series with a ribby. And lifetime against Hernandez is 0 for 4. 1-1 the count. Here at Yankee Stadium, 318 down the left field line, 399 in left center, 408 dead away center, 385 in right center, and 314 down the right field line. But there's a good fastball strike. Did you get that, DJ?
Let's go to bullpen.
Okay. Stay fair. Going foul. There's a phone right next to us in the press box. It's not DJ's cell. I know it's hard to believe, but it's not DJ's cell.
I don't even have a cell.
You got 2 of them.
Don't go spread no rumors.
Only man I know walks around with 2 different cells. That fastball. Upper tank left side. Yeah, that's the first of me.
Well, you haven't been around much then.
You're awesome, man.
One works, one doesn't.
Hernandez, a long look in. Now, he will play mind games with you. As you see, it's got to be a breaking ball. Posada. No, it wasn't either. He wanted the fastball down. He got it up. Missed. Posada holding that glove down on the dirt like that, saying, get it down here.
Maybe thinking that the White Sox are cheating and he's trying to trick somebody.
That's a very good possibility. Posada to the outside. And that's just off the inside corner.
Well, you can see right now, that's exactly what's going on. Posada is setting up on the outside and then moving back to the inside. The Yankees seem to think that the White Sox are cheating from somewhere and giving the signals or signs of the pitches and location.
Good rip by Jose. Well, if you think it, then you got to try to do something to counteract it.
And you see right now, that's their way of handling it. If somebody is signaling, set them up and they'll see real quickly how bad they swing.
And that's ball 4. He misses down low. So a good at bat for Valentin as he works El Duque. Draws the walk, and right now let's check out our picks to click. Fillmore. Skip Ellison, our director, and the crew went with Maglio Ordonez. DJ's going with Greg Norton and Lexi, Nix, Christina Bina, and Elena. Stratford and I are going to go with Mark Johnson. Here's Big Frank at 322, 16 homers, 55 knocked in as he takes off. He had that base stolen. There will be no throw. What a jump by Jose. He picks up his 8th stolen base in 9 attempts.
Well, Hernandez is not known for really holding guys on. And that's very smart on Jose's part. Right away, first pitch gone. He read that, picked on that curveball.
But DJ, you were a good base stealer, and one thing about it, you tried to get the breaking ball to go on. Big Frank. Good chance they're going to start him off with that hook. That ball hit hard into left center field. Nobody's going to get that one in. One hops the wall. Frank into second. Valentin scores, and the Sox lead it 1-0 on the 56th ribby by the big hurt Frank Thomas.
We're going to look right here and see. Frank gets that ball right on the inner part of the plate where he's looking for it. And he hits against that front leg and drives it. One hops that 399 out there.
So the 16th two-bagger, and here's Maggs. Maggs hitting at 305, 14 homers, 52 driven in. 5 for 13 in this series with 2 homers, and he's knocked in 7. Breaking ball, fouls it away. Maggs has faced El Duque 10 times. He has 2 hits, neither of which have stayed in the park.
That's a good ratio for long balls, 2 hits.
I love it when you analyze.
It is.
You're right. Another breaking ball drops down on that one, and the count 1-1.
You trade off a couple of singles instead of 4 singles, 2 home runs and a 200 average, wouldn't you?
No, not. It's according to the situation of the game. The same way as you. You'd rather have those singles if you're man on second, 2 out. You have to score 14-1. Dadgum right. Another breaking pitch. 2-1. 1-0 Sox here in the top of the first if you're just tuning in. Finale of this 7-game road trip as the outstanding manager of the defending world champion Yankees, Joe Torre, looks on. Another breaking ball. And the count 3-1. You know, I've seen a lot of managers over the last 38 years here in New York, and I have never seen a manager with either the Yankees or the Mets that handle the press as well as Joe Torre. And you know, DJ, you played here. You know how important that is.
Well, not only that, I haven't seen a manager in my time that is probably as well respected by the press also. That makes a big difference.
As his pitching coach, Mel Stottlemyre, also highly respected. As Maggs got himself a good count, 3-1. Now outfield straight up. Thomas with a short lead at second. Another breaking ball. He lays off of it. He did not go. So the second walk of the inning. And here comes Konerko. All at 293, 10 homers, 39 RBIs. He's had a solid series here. He's 6 for 13, 1 homer, and he's driven in 3.
Be nice right here to get a little extra on the board. Sox have scored in the first inning 3 out of the 4 games in this series.
There's a fastball upstairs. Ball has faced Hernandez 6 times. He has 1 hit. There's a strike. So the count 1-1. The ball is striking out. As you look at this 10-game road winning streak, Sox hitting at .323, averaging over 8 runs a game. 13 homers and 33 doubles. That's a bunch.
That's a whole bunch of extra base hits right there.
10 games. Breaking ball, that's hit into right center field. That's a base hit. Here comes Big Frank. Mag's on his way to third. Big hurdle score, and the Sox lead at 2-0. RBI number 40 for Konerko.
PK does help the White Sox cause and add to the board. Gonna get a little slider out. He doesn't try to do too much. A little chop swing down through this one. Short finish.
That's some good wood work right there.
That is. He did a good job. A little out in front. A nice swing, even being out on that front foot. Kind of showed his hand strength on that swing.
So Mel Stottlemyre. I got a feeling on that play at first base, El Duque may have pulled a little something. When he covered, when Tino Martinez ranged wide to his right. Stottlemyre now coming out to talk to Danny Iasonia, home plate umpire. This might be just a medical trip. So he says he's okay. And now Iasonia waves off the trip. So indeed it was just to check on the condition of El Duque. And let's take another look at this play. You see, El Duque did not expect Tino Martinez to range that wide. So he was a spectator there for a moment. All of a sudden had to kick it in gear to get over there. And he just paused for a couple of seconds after the end of that shot you just saw. So here's Chris Singleton. Konerko just a decent lead at first as there's a pitch just off the inside corner.
Well, Chris with an opportunity here to pick up the RBI with the sacrifice fly or just by staying out of the double play on the ground ball.
And he's got himself a good count.
Well, it seems to me that Hernandez is pitching totally different than he usually does against the White Sox. He's early trying to intimidate the hitters by pitching in hard. We haven't seen that yet. He's kind of all over the place.
Sox hitting at .278 on the season as a club with that 4.36 ERA. Sox with 95 homers. That ball hit into the gap. Nobody's going to get this one. Konerko, he's hauling it. Going around second as much as he can. Waving Wally. Got him coming. Knobloch with a throw to the plate. Safe. 4-0 good guys.
Well, you worded it right. Konerko was moving it as best he could. He really slowed down coming around second base. His foot's bothering him a bit. He told me before the game, and it's kind of evident on that. Wave him Wally, kept him coming, made him work. Chris, ahead in the count, 2-0. He just turns and burns. Look at this finish right there, like almost he hurt himself. Put it in a nice spot in the gap. That's going to bring up Carlos Lee now.
So here is El Caballo. Takes first pitch fastball strike. Singleton now 12 doubles, and he's knocked in 31. So both walks issued by El Duque here in the top of the first have crossed home plate. That's right back through the middle base hit. Here comes Singleton. He's going to score. And it's a 5-0 Sox lead. I love crooked numbers.
You're getting plenty of them right now. This is just emphasis on finishing a road trip very strongly.
Finish it off, guys. Just finish it off.
Really, to me, looks like a totally different pitcher than any other time I saw him face us. I don't know what it is, but something, you're right. Maybe he did do something. He's just trying to tough it out, and he's not saying anything, but it doesn't look very strong out there right now.
Well, his stuff looks all right. It's just the fact, as you mentioned, you brought up the point, BJ, a second ago, is the fact that normally, by this time, this would be the 8th hitter coming up. Usually, in the first 5 or 6 hitters, one right-hander is going to be backing out of there as he's going to be busting them inside.
He looks like he's intimidated rather than be the intimidator. I mean, I don't know, maybe this White Sox team all of a sudden is making people think a bit out there on that mound, and they're making more mistakes because of it.
So here's Norton. Greg at 287, 5 homers. 21 driven in, 2 for 6 in the series, and 2 for 7 lifetime against El Duque. No activity down in that Yankee pen. Drops that hook on the outside corner. Nice pitch by Hernandez. Another hook. Took a line off. Had Norton way out in front. Johnson on deck. 5-4-0 for the Sox here in the top of the first. Just got a piece of it.
0-2 took a little off of his fastball. Really, his fastball is a pitch that's been getting hit. It appears that he's going to stay away from it a little bit. 2 slow curveballs, a BP fastball with some movement there.
That's off the corner. Norton. So that's out number 2, and that'll bring up Mark Johnson.
He's going to really throw a two-seam sinker down and away. A lot of movement way outside.
That's a definite getaway, didn't it? Mark hitting at 226, 2 homers. He's driven in 10. Had a big first game, 3 for 4 with a ribby. Takes that pitch up high. Curveball, yes. Home plate umpire Danny Iasonia staying right with that pitch. They're going to bust him in. And there's a strike. Oh, Mark, good 2-strike hitter. All started with a 1-out walk to Valentin. Double by Thomas, knocked him in after Jose had stolen second. The walk to Maggs, RBI single by Canerco, the 2-run double by Singleton, an RBI single by Carlos Lee. And there's a base hit. But Carlos will pull up at second. So the Sox, how many times now, DJ, have batted around?
That's going to be the 13th time. The 14th time.
You're off.
Well, I'm somewhere in the ballpark. I forgot we did it again yesterday.
And you might see all these blue bands on the arms of most of the players, umpires, coaches. And that is for Cap Cure. There they are. That is for research in prostate cancer. So here's Ray. He grounded out 3-1 his first at bat. Outfield straight up. Come on, Ray. Get yourself a knock. Keep it going. Curveball, yes. Del Duque with that long look as Posada had to go through 3 different sequences. Tries to backdoor him. 2 balls and a strike.
How many times you make the first and last out in an inning?
That I can remember?
Yeah.
A whole bunch.
Well, Ray got to stay out of that situation right now.
That's off the corner. My memory serves me correct. I think I did it twice in 2 days. It was either twice in 2 days or twice in 3 days.
Well, on this team, you get plenty of opportunities as many times as they've batted around.
Isn't that amazing? 14 times. And a 3-1 pitch. That's ball 4. That'll load him up. Third walk of the inning. Now we're going to have some activity down in that Yankee pen. .41 pitches as you look at the southpaw, Alan Watson.
I'll tell you, shortest outing on the year for Hernandez is 4 innings. But every other start is nothing less than 6 1/3.
Jose started this thing off, as we mentioned, with that 1-out walk. Takes that fastball inside.
Hernandez normally going very deep into a ball game.
Well, every time he's fallen behind and made a mistake with a fastball at all. That's 2-0. Sox have just jumped all over him. And that's what it's about. You don't hit good pitchers' pitches hard. You hit mistakes hard. And usually those come when you're 2-0-3-1.
The 2 outs that he's gotten, he made some good pitches. Other than that, everything's been right there.
Pull a string on him right there. Nice pitch on the 2-0 count. Had him out in front.
Yeah, that's good thinking right there. Jose definitely feeling he's got to lay one in there to him. And he's going to be way out in front sitting on that fastball.
And it's 3-1. So 3 balls to strike, 2 outs. Sox packed with Sox. They lead at 5-0 here in the top of the first if you're just joining us. That's flared. Upper tank, souvenir left side.
Really good pitch right there. Good movement right on the outside corner. They're trying to get big on him and hook it. Tough pitch to do it with.
So a huge crowd on hand. They had 54,053 yesterday. Sox like big crowd. That ball hit deep into right center field. Way back. They look up. You can put it on the board. Yes! A grand slam by Jose Valentin. And it's a 9-0 Sox lead here in the top of the first. And here comes Joe Torre.
You got a fastball. He did hook this one. It was a tough pitch also. It's amazing how he can get around that sinker down in the way and still pull it into right center field with some good juice on it. With a 385 sign out there.
So El Duque, Orlando Hernandez will depart, and we'll be back. Has given the Sox a 9-0 lead here in the top of the first inning. He now has 12 homers, and he has driven in 40. So his 5th Grand Slam homer.
He went out and around and was not messing around with it. See Alan Watson. 9 2/3, 10 hits. Does have 9 strikeouts with that. You got Frank Thomas up there swinging at the first pitch, fouling it off to Jim Parquet right now. This has been a long time to be sitting over there. We're talking 30-minute half inning. Fastball right on the outside corner of Big Frank. He takes it.
Yeah, a lot of times on the road, you know, it's a lot better to have your pitcher stay down in that bullpen just in situations such as this.
Well, I like to say it all the time to you, Huck. You miss the first inning, a lot of times you're missing most of the runs scored.
Wait a minute. I'm going to write that down. You're right. I'll tell you what, it's amazing, especially against good pitchers, DJ. You know, a lot of times you don't get those good ones early. You have trouble getting them at all.
3 out of 4 of these games scored in the first inning.
So he gets Frank on the outside corner, and that'll retire the side, but not before some damage is done. They sent 12 men to the plate, 9 runs on 6 hits, and after a half inning of play, it's the good guys 9 and the Yankees coming to bat. Sox Sox here in the bottom of the first, and let's check out the starting lineup handed in by the skipper, Joe Torre. Leading off, Chuck Knobloch. Derek Jeter at short. Hitting third in right field, Paul O'Neill. The cleanup hitter in center, Bernie Williams. Tino Martinez at first. Batting sixth, the catcher, Jorge Posada. In left field, Shane Spencer. The DH, Jim Leyritz. And in the ninth position, the third baseman, Scott Brosius. Sox defensively have Lee, Singleton, Ordonez in the outfield, Norton, Valentin, Durham, Canerco around the horn, and the battery of Mark Johnson and a 24-year-old southpaw Jim Parquet. Jimmy coming in with a record of 6-2, 4.04 ERA, making his 14th start. His 6 victories have come over Tampa Bay, Detroit, Baltimore, Cleveland, Houston, and Cincinnati, and he has lost to Anaheim and the Yankees. He had no decision in his last start against the Indians when he really pitched well, going 7 innings, giving up just 2 runs. So here's Knobloch hitting at 286, 3 homers. He's driven in 10. First pitch, fastball, strike. Chuck 3 for 10 in the series. And lifetime against Parquet, he's 2 for 8. Yankees coming in with that 34-28 mark, a half game back of the Red Sox. New York at home, 17-15.
Boy, this is a scary offense to do. The White Sox are throwing at some people right now.
That's into right field. Maggs coming on. He's there. Lead man gone. Well, DJ, the thing about it is if you look at the chronology of this season for the Sox, coming out of spring training where they just finished up red hot. Started off the season red hot. Continued on until the brawl with the Tigers, and then the suspensions came into play. We lost our skipper for 8 days. We lost Maggs for 5 days. We lost Falk for 5 days. All those suspensions, that's the only time of the year that this ball club has not been hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah, and we've started to back up. We're clicking again.
Here's Derek Jeter. Takes that fastball off the plate. One of those 9 runs given up by the Yankees in the top half of this inning, the most since June 8th of last year. That was in the 7th inning against the Phillies, and the Yankees lost that game 11-5. So the brilliant young shortstop. He's 25 years old. Gets himself a base hit. He's 14 for 15 in stolen bases. Listening, I should say, to Lee Mazzilli, the coach at first.
Jimmy throws a little slider in on his hands. Pulled him in. Very good. You and I talked about that the other day. He does that as good as anybody in the game.
He certainly does. Of course, Mike Schmidt did it about as good as anybody I've ever seen. Great third baseman for the Phillies. Pulled him in, and of course, Mike had those incredibly strong hands.
511 home runs, I believe.
First pitch strike to Paul O'Neill. Paul at 296, 7 homers. He's driven in 38.
Right now, the Yankees only being the bottom of the first inning. They're probably going to still think about being aggressive.
Well, when you got guys that can run, you got to run them, especially early in a ball game when you're down.
Well, right now, Paul Canerco's playing behind Derek Jeter. Jeter not offering in any way yet.
I mentioned Jeter 14 for 15 in stolen bases. Yankees have 53. Sox have 37. But the Yankees have turned 48 double plays. The Sox have turned 77.
That is good enough for 4th best in the league.
Well, everybody's talking about the Sox defense. Okay, that's one thing that everybody asks you about. You know, when we first got here the first day, some of the writers asking us about the Sox defense. Well, this point last year, the Sox had 57 double plays. So we have 20 more. than we had at this juncture in '99.
When you're on natural turf like we are, and you're 4th best in the league, that's pretty good.
But again, it goes back to that old saying, don't tell me how many you got, tell me when you got them. And the Sox got a couple of them. There were game-ending double plays in Cleveland.
That's right. And, of course, the league leaders are on AstroTurf. That's Toronto. They've turned 88. A lot easier to turn a double play on AstroTurf than it is on natural turf.
Foul down at the plate, off the foot of O'Neill.
And a reminder, Picnic in the Park is Sunday, June 25th, following the White Sox-Yankees game. Fans will get to enjoy a picnic in the outfield grass with their favorite players and coaches and a private fireworks show to follow. Picnic in the Park benefits Chicago White Sox charities. For reservations and details, call 312-674-1000.
One out in the payoff pitch. He's got to treat this ball game like it's nothing. Right
now, Jeter beat him by pulling his hands in and hitting a good pitch. You got to make O'Neill swing the bat. And obviously, Jimmy doesn't want to walk him, but make sure your concentration as is if it was 0-0.
So here's Bernie. Oh, what a day he had yesterday. 4 for 4. 2-run double, 3-run double, and a 2-run homer. Curveball, no. Yankees yesterday trailed big. They trailed 8-0 at one point. That was after 2.5 innings. And they trailed 10-3. They kept fighting back. There's no quitting this ball club. You don't win world championships in 3 out of 4 years. As the count moves to 2-0. Now Mark Johnson. But going back to that thing, that was over a 30-minute top half of the first. As I said, I really like to see guys on the road. Just in case of those long first innings. Yeah, out there where they can still keep loose.
Well, maybe we can implement what the pitchers did in Japan. Step right out in front of the dugout and start playing catch while the game's going on.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. That's how they get loose before they go out to their mound.
That's a long way away, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not implemented over here yet.
3-0. Well, Nardi coming out of the dugout. He wants to try to settle this thing down in a hurry. Season parquet has been really aggressive out on that mound, both in mound presence and execution.
Well, you and I both know you get a 9-run lead, long inning that it took. The biggest thing to do is go out there and show them that you're still in the ballgame, the opposing team, and not even let them think they can inch their way back into it. Yesterday, they battled back from a 8-0 deficit.
And a 3-0 pitch. There's a strike. Bernie hitting an even 300, 13 homers, and 61 driven in. Martinez. At 275, 7 homers. He's driven in 35. 2 for 9 lifetime against Parquet with a homer. Pops him up. Valentin going back. Jose is there, makes the catch. 2 down.
Simple as that. Tino swing the bat. Get those free passes out. What's going to happen? He had to go up there and got a fastball. Jammed him with it. And now he's sitting here with 2 outs. He's got another tough batter to the face from Jorge Posada. He's hitting much better from the right-hand side. 381 with 3 home runs and 13 RBIs.
First pitch strike. Posada 2 for 12 in the series. Lifetime against Jimmy, he's 0 for 2. Up high, 1-1. A little chopper right back to Parquet, and he's going to pitch out of it. So the Yankees threaten here in the bottom of the first. Can't dent home plate. And after 1, it is 9-0 Sox. 9-0 Sox here in the top of the second inning. It'll be Ordonez, Konerko, and Singleton to face the southpaw Alan Watson. Maggs walked and scored last inning. Fouls that pitch back. Maggs yesterday, a sacrifice fly in the first, a 3-run homer in the second. He just killed one off Jake Westbrook of Athens, Georgia, making his major league debut. Got a hanger. He didn't miss it, did he?
You better believe it. Maglio knew it the minute he got it. Gave that little toss down to the bat. All you got to do is watch a hitter after he makes that kind of contact, and he'll let you know if it's gone.
That's the end to left center field. That's going to be a base hit. Bernie Williams cannot get to it and cut it off. So Maggs starts it off with his 16th two-bagger. And you know, we talked about Parquet's got to treat this 9-0 lead like it's a 0-0 ball club. Well, your offense has got to treat it the same way. You got to put those in the bank and say, okay, let's go. It's a 0-0 game.
That's right. They got to take this serious still because it is early. They don't want to let the Yankees crawl back into it, and plus, they don't do anything to hurt their own stats. You know, keep piling it on. 9-run half inning is very rare.
Well, I mean, here's the situation. You know, you got a man on second, 9-0 lead. I mean, you're not asking Paul to try to hit a ground ball to the right side in this situation. So that differs just a little bit from that concept.
Yeah, right now it's just go up there, see ball, hit ball. No more sacrificing yourself.
But he's going to do it anyway. He gets him over. And that Bronx cheer coming up for the throw by Knobloch to Martinez.
That swing right there by Paul Konerko looks like all he's trying to do is get him over. He didn't really have to just give himself up in a 9-run ball game. Knobloch, nice easy little toss over there to Tino.
But you still like to see it. Chris takes ball 1. Chris, a 2-run double and a run scored last inning.
Well, here's a guy that likes to see it. He's got an easy RBI opportunity thanks to Paul Konerko.
That's a foul back. Well, I don't think, and you think back too, DJ, and all the clubs that you and I both have played on, I don't know if I've ever seen a club that's as unselfish as this one right here.
No, I don't see it from the whole lineup like this. No,
that's what I'm talking about.
There's somebody that might stick out a little bit and be a little selfish, and you don't see it around this lineup.
But you know, even Big Frank this year has, every time he's had that man at second base, he has tried to get him over. Fouls that one back. Count evens at 2.
Well, one thing is, Paulie hitting that ball the other side, whether he was doing it intentionally or not, would definitely like to see Chris benefit from it. You don't want to waste that job well done. You want to say, all right, now pick him up because I gave myself up.
That's the first time that the White Sox have scored 9 runs in the first inning since 1962. April 19th against Minnesota. And that's ball 4. So with runners at the corners, 1 out, Carlos Lee, the hitter, let's pause for station identification.
This is WGN, entertaining America.
Along with the feisty one, Aaron Jackson, Ken Harrelson from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Carlos, 1 for 1, an RBI single. Pull the string on him right there, had him out in front. Carlos now with 50 ribbies.
Ken, you put a lot of emphasis on that last feisty. You really were punching it out there. Is there something to that today?
That ball hit deep into right center field. Bernie Williams on his horse going back. He can't get there. Singleton reading it perfectly. He's being waved around. So Maggs will score. Here's a throw. Safe. And it's an 11-0 Sox lead. Carlos now with 52 ribbies. El Caballo.
Well, they're definitely not treating this ball game as if it's a blowout. Carlos drives that ball, got a good pitch. Some of these guys just really follow each other up around here. It's like they say to each other, you can do it, I can do it better.
Like a top you, isn't it?
It's amazing. They definitely push each other all through this lineup.
Here's Norton. Can't get the curveball. (11, 8, and 0). Yankees have issued 4 walks. 3 of them have scored. That's down low. 1-1 to count. Two balls and a strike. So the Sox coming in with that mark of 26-14. They've already played 40 road games. Feisty?
5 more than anybody else in the league.
Ooh, that's a lot. And they had the best record in all of baseball on the road. And the best composite record of all of baseball.
Well, they've been tested, and they've been tested on the road, and obviously it hasn't bothered them at all.
The thing I like best about the testing part is they have been tested in 1-run and close ball games. Got him on the off-speed pitch, so Greg's gone. And here's Mark Johnson. Mark had a base hit last inning. Got his average up to 233.
Well, keep on climbing. 2-out RBI right here.
Well, you know, it's tough to say is Posada going out to talk to Watson. It's tough to say about in one respect, a 24-year-old receiver. But the way he has been handling pitchers, really, it doesn't make any difference what he hits.
That's exactly right. And I remember there's a time where what catchers hit didn't matter. It's how well they received and how good they called the game. And Mark Johnson behind the plate's been unbelievable.
Yeah, he has. But he's going to hit as well. I still am a firm believer that Mark Johnson, before he is finished, will be a 265, 275 hitter, 10 to 15 home runs, and he's already proven he's not afraid to knock in a big run.
Well, he hit in the minor leagues. I mean, it doesn't mean he's going to hit at this level, but I do believe he will too, because he really does have a good eye. It's one thing that got him a little trouble last year. He was seeing a lot of pitches and taking them.
Too select. There's the strike, so the count 2-1. Yeah, he was so selective last year. Every time he went up there, he was 0-1.
I think the previous year in the minor leagues, he walked 100 times.
105 of them. That's up high. 3 balls and a strike.
So anybody that can walk 105 times in the minor leagues definitely has a good eye. And it's going to come around and pay off for him here in the long run. He just got to get his mindset right in that batter's box and be aggressive in the right counts and the right situations, and he'll be raking.
That ball hit hard, fair. Attaboy, Mark. Here comes Carlos. He's going to score on the single by Johnson, and it's 12-0 Sox.
Well, he got selective there in a 3-1 count, got a fastball and turned on it. Bullet down the line. The reason it's not a double is because it ricochets off the infield tarp and kicks out to Paul O'Neill.
So here's Ray. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Getting his 3rd plate appearance here in the top of the 2nd inning.
Thank goodness he didn't make the last out in the bottom of the 1st, top of the 1st. (12-9-0) for the Sox, 0-1-0 for the Yankees.
Off the end of the bat, Jeter going to take it himself. And that'll retire the side for the Sox. Score 9 in the 1st, come right back to 3 in the 2nd. After an inning and a half, they lead it by a dozen. $12-0 Sox as you peruse our Southwest Airlines tail of the tape. While the Yankees, it'll be the lower third of their order. Spencer, Leyritz, and Scott Brosius. There are the numbers on Shane, hitting at .268. 4 for 9 in this series. And lifetime, 3 for 10 against Parquet. Well, that's by Durham, so leadoff single. And Posada going out to the mound last inning. Evidently, let's see what he was doing here. He's barking at Carlos Lee. Something. I think he's barking at the wrong guy.
Yeah, they need to be yelling at their pitchers, and that's about it, because that guy right there, he's a big bull.
As I said, that's El Caballo, man. Shane's, check that, Jim Leyritz takes strike 1 with Shane Spencer at first. Did you ever have a catcher say anything to you about that? No. I did one time. I was on second base. I wasn't giving any signs, you know, and we were hammering somebody. He comes out and did the same thing. I looked at him and I just yelled at him. I said, hey, I'm not putting the fingers down. You are.
That's exactly right. Don't blame me.
That's up high. 1-2.
So you actually stayed calm. I'm sure that wasn't easy for you, being accused, and wrongly accused at that.
Yeah. Maybe if I had been doing it, then I would have tried to, you know, jump up in that defensive posture.
You got a clear conscience and said, hey, relax.
I'm not saying we never did it. But not in that particular game. We had like a 12-run lead. That's up high. Full count. Come on, Jimmy.
12-run lead. I think a hitter can fend for himself.
Yeah. Out to play right side. As we discussed, in big leads like this early in a ball game, or even late in the ball game with base, they see even better late in the ball game. This is a great time for the opposition, the guys who are on the short end of that big lead, to hit.
You know they're going to get a lot of fastballs.
Got him on the outside corner. He'll grab some bench for out number 1. Beautiful pitch by Parquet.
Thinks it's out off the corner. No, it's right there. A reaction of shock.
So here's Brosius. Can't get the high heater.
You know, this is the type of game where Jim Parquet probably could get hit around quite a bit, because he mostly is a fastball pitcher. And these hitters now sitting on nothing but fastballs.
Curveball just off the corner. Hello. No, I'm sorry, DJ's busy right now.
You call this busy?
That's low. 2-1.
We're going to have to mix it up a little bit more, make these guys start thinking about his breaking stuff.
Well, this is a real good fastball hitting team. Yankees. Jammed him, popped him up. Ray is there.
He's going to be throwing fastballs in that location, and he'll be okay. As long as he's ahead in the count.
Here's Knobloch. Popped up to Maggs his first trip. Takes a curveball strike. Oh, good pitching on the fist. Just ate him up. 0-2. 24-year-old southpaw Jim Parquet. In his very young career, already has 44 decisions. And he split them.
Going for his 4th in a row today.
One and two. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He's gone. He'll grab some bench, and that'll retire the side. We'll go to the 3rd, leading by 12. Bad day here at Yankee Stadium. A huge crowd on hand as Jose Valentin will lead it off. He has walked, and he has a grand slam homer coming in the 1st inning. They drove in 4 and scored 2 in the 1st. Off the end of the bat, Brosius with a nice pitch. Martinez.
And a reminder, the first 15,000 fans at Comiskey Park Saturday, June 24th, when the White Sox take on the Yankees, will receive a Sox mouse pad courtesy of ComEd. For tickets, call 312-831-1-SOX.
Here's Big Frank. Frank doubled in a run in the first, and he scored. Takes that fastball off the plate. Checking some other scores for you. After 3 at Comerica Park, Tigers leading Cleveland 3-0. Jamie Navarro started for the Tribe against Willie Blair. Cleveland on a 6-game losing streak. Sox went in there and finished it off against the Tribe Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and took a lot of wind out of those sails. On the corner, 1-2.
Well, they sent them reeling. There's no doubt they haven't bounced back from it. Detroit coming in there and beating up on them right behind us. Or in Comerica Park. They haven't been able to get it back together.
That's just off the corner, full count. Well, you mentioned last inning that the Sox have played 5 more road games than everybody else in Major League Baseball. I don't know if I've ever remembered something like that. That's really a lot more than anybody else in the big leagues. As that's ball 4.
Usually, especially at this juncture in the season, that teams are right about even at home and on the road. So that's a big difference, there's no doubt.
Well, you might see somebody with a couple of more road games or a couple more home games than somebody.
But we're about to make up for that in this next little month at home.
Well, make your plans to be with us tomorrow night. Indians coming in for a 4-game series, followed by the Yankees next weekend. Tomorrow night, it'll be Kip Wells against Bartolo Colon. And that game will be over WCIU, Channel 26. On Tuesday, Mike Soraka against Jim Brower. That game will be over Fox Sports Net. On Wednesday, James Baldwin against Dave Burba. And that game will be over Fox Sports Net. Then in the finale on Thursday, Big Cal against Chuck Finley. So make your plans to be with us at Comiskey Park as the Sox coming home with regardless of what happens today, with the best record in Major League Baseball. Maglio takes downstairs, and the count 3-0. Mags has walked, double, and scored twice. Also, the Sox with the biggest divisional lead in the big leagues.
Run off as many victories as they have of late.
There's a strike.
Easy to understand how that's happened. Well, for victory today, 20 games over. Whew.
That's outside, and that's ball 4. So 1 out, back-to-back walks to Thomas and Mags, and that'll bring up Paul Konerko. Other action around the American League. After 3.5 at Fenway, it's Toronto leading the Red Sox 4-0. Raul Mondesi hit his 14th homer. It was a 3-run shot in the first, and Brad Fulmer hit his 11th. And here's Todd Erdos. That's inside. Paulie, a first-inning RBI single and a run scored. After 4.5 at Tropicana Field, Texas leading Tampa Bay 1-0. That's on the inside corner. Anaheim at Baltimore after 2 no score. Etherton against Erickson. Oakland scored 1 in the top of the first at Kansas City. Seattle did not score in the top of the first at Minnesota. That's up high, 2-1. Over the National League, Phillies leading the Braves 1-0 after 2 at Veterans Stadium. Other National League action shows Florida at Pittsburgh, Milwaukee hosting the Mets, Montreal at Wrigley Field, Arizona, Colorado, San Francisco hosting Houston, Cincinnati at San Diego, and the Cardinals taking on the Dodgers in L.A. 3 balls and a strike to Konerko. The ball hit hard into left field. Spencer goes back. He's there, makes the catch. Well, that's a hang whoop'em for Konerko. He scalded it.
Looked like when he first hit it, that was going to get over his head, but the topspin on it came down to Spencer. Frank out there messing around, thinking it was over his head easily. Had to tiptoe back into second base on Spencer's throw. He's got a strong arm out there in left field.
All these Yankee outfielders can throw. Spencer, Bernie Williams, Paul O'Neill, as here's Chris Singleton. First pitch strike. Chris had a 2-run double in the first, and he walked and scored last inning. That's inside. 1-1 to count. Took that pitch nicely. Looked at it all the way into the glove, the mitt of Jorge Posada.
Hit that double yesterday, opposite field home run. It got up in a jet stream. Starting to hit the ball in the sweet spot on the bat.
Good rip right there. Two and two the count, with 2 down here in the top of the third. Anaheim now leading Baltimore 5-0 after 3 at Oriole Park. And after 4 at Comerica, Tigers still shutting out the Indians 3-0. He got him. So nothing across. And we'll go to the bottom of the third, leading big. Bottom of the third inning from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. It'll be Jeter, O'Neill, and Williams. Jeter singles his first trip, and right to Valentin. 1 pitch, 1 out.
And here's a reminder about Bat Day. All children at Comiskey Park on Sunday, June 25th, when the White Sox take on the Yankees, will receive a bat courtesy of Coca-Cola. The tickets call 312-831-1-SOX.
See Jose saying right there, that ball really sunk on him. That's a hang whoop'em for Jeter. And here's Paul O'Neill. He walked in the first inning. And we got some email. DJ,
give it to me.
I love email.
You're very good at reading it.
Fastball out of play. This from Glendale Latham, Midlothian, Illinois. Talking DJ, I've been a Sox fan for nearly 40 years. And this White Sox team is the most exciting. More so than the Go-Go Sox or the Southside Hitmen. I'm having a great time enjoying the season. There's a new sheriff in town, baby. Go Sox. That's inside. Here's one for you, DJ.
Uh-oh.
Zach Schuster, Sleepy Hollow, Illinois, says, DJ, I had a question for you. With all the success that the Sox have had this year, do you ever wake up and wish you were back on the field instead of the broadcast booth?
Matter of fact, I was just talking to somebody about that today. So Neil takes that pitch in. No, I haven't at one time this year actually said to myself, I wish I had a bat down there right now. But I'll tell you this. It gets close to playoff time. These guys are getting ready to go in it. I'll be sitting there going, you know, That could have been in my first postseason. So that'll be the only time maybe I'll think about it.
2 balls and a strike to Paul O'Neill. Checks it up. Here's another one from Ted in Indiana. He said, I used to live in San Diego, and I was wondering if I remembered correctly that DJ led the National League in homers per at-bat one year in the early 90s.
Well, no, I didn't actually lead the major leagues. I think that year I was like 5th in the league.
Fouls that fastball back, full count.
As Fred McGriff used to constantly come up to me and go, hey, Mr. Ratio.
K-Solo?
Yeah, K-Solo. He was just mad because it's the only thing I was able to top him out on that year. And I let him know about it.
Here's the payoff. Ground ball hit hard, base hit. Well, you put Paul O'Neill 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, and he is really dangerous.
And Jimmy, you know, he throws a lot of fastballs, so he's ready to go. We'll bring up Bernie Williams.
Bernie drew a walk in the first inning. Parquet had the bases loaded, 1 out. Then he got Martinez to pop up to Valentin, and Posada to ground back weakly to him. Strike on the outside corner. Here's one for me. It says, this from Don Jeffers. Evanston said, I recently read that Sparky Lyle once sat with his rear end, his bare rear end, on your birthday cake. Is that true? Well, Don Jeffers from Evanston, Illinois. It is definitely true. Had a big birthday cake, real big. We were just getting ready to cut it up after a ball game that we won. Sparky's buck naked. Here he comes running and just jumps fanny first right into the middle of it.
Well, did you let the person out of the cake before that happened?
No, it wasn't that big. It was when Sparky got finished with it.
Okay.
Obviously, there were only a couple of guys that had a piece of it. I wasn't one of them. Breaking ball. So Bernie Williams is gone. He'll grab some bench for out number 2.
Jim Parquet deciding to get to that big breaking ball of his. Good choice. Bernie out in front and over the top 2 times.
Here's Tino. As we mentioned, he popped to Valentin his first trip. First pitch strike. Now time is called. Ground ball, Valentin. Up with it. Over to Durham. They force O'Neill, and that'll retire the side. Nothing across, and after 3, it's 12-0 good guys. Leading it off. First pitch, strike on the outside corner. Carlos has knocked in a run with a single in the first, doubled in 2 in the second. Out in front, and he chops it foul. So no balls, 2 strikes to El Caballo. Here's another email from Steve Pokin from Palatine. Says, the first time I saw Kelly Wunsch do his left-handed sidearm delivery, I called him the Funky Wunsch. Now, I've been calling him that for about a month now, and tonight my 9-year-old son Luke remarked how Hawk always comes up with some names, including the Funky Wunsch. Says, I told him the Funky Wunsch was my own creation, but he refuses to believe me, so I'm sending you this email to try to set him straight. There's another foul ball, so Steve Pokin, you are correct. Actually, we don't call Wunsch Funky Wunsch. We say his motion is funky. So, for your son, Luke, your dad's right. The 0-2. Little ground ball right side. Knobloch. And if you want to email us, here it is, chicagosports.com. Email Hawk and DJ, Sox TV at chicagosports.com. Sox TV at chicagosports.com. So here's Norton. They go for 2. First pitch fastball. Here's another one from Christopher Heinzinger. Says, Hawk, you played during the same era. What was your reaction to the book Ball 4? That's out of play right side. Well, Christopher Heinzinger, I never read the book. I just read some excerpts and magazines from it. Of course, I obviously knew what was in it because of all the TV at that time media coverage that was written by Jim Bouton. And I thought it was terrible. I thought it was a betrayal of confidences by Jim Bouton. As a matter of fact, I don't know one player that liked it at all. 2-1 to count. There's a lot of things, a lot of people, as you know, Feisty, that could write books if they wanted to betray confidences.
Oh, but that's too easy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, come on. I mean, this is, you know, camaraderie-ship and closeness amongst guys that, you know, you don't want to betray that trust.
That's out of play right side. Here's another email. This one says, from George Sullivan, thanks for bringing the Sox to me here in the desert in Tucson. I'm a lifelong Sox fan. All I need in my life is for the Sox to win a World Series, then I can die. Well, all right, George, hang in there, kid. Just off the corner, and that's ball 4.
All right, Greg Norton on the board in the red. Red ink in the book now. He's done something. Reached base.
Here's Mark Johnson. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI. First pitch strike. Here's one from DJ. He says, DJ, would you please, you've used the expression gator arm several times. Please explain this to us. Greg Pulowski from Plainfield, Illinois. There's a strike and a count 0-2.
Well, that's just like when Hawk has to reach into his deep pockets with those short arms. They just don't seem to reach out far enough. Oh, I'm sorry, Hawk. You said that to me one time.
He gets marked. I love you, man.
No, Hawk is always picking me up. Truth is when you just don't reach out, fully extended out, called gator arming it. These little short arms, like you look at an alligator, little short, squatty arms. You see a lot of players not get fully extended.
Here's Ray. Ray 0 for 2 with a walk. Fouls that one out of play. I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you when I used to gator arm it. Be playing first base. When Mickey Mantle will be coming down that line, and somebody would throw it into the runner. You talking about some short arm and gator arms?
Good reason. You're talking about having a dislocated shoulder there. He ran into you.
Tear it off. High off the plate. Mickey Mantle still, for all the players I've ever seen, the fastest man I have ever seen down the line.
It's a rumor I heard.
They got him several times at 3 flat from the left side. That is moving.
Well, that's beyond fast.
Bo Jackson's the fastest right-handed hitter I've ever seen down the line. And Mickey Mantle was the fastest left-handed. Of course, Mickey was a switch hitter.
The fastest I've ever seen run down the line was Stanley Floyd, world-class sprinter. Tried out for baseball once.
That's back through the middle. Get through. It will. Base hit, so Ray's on the board with his first knock. Fourth hit given up by Alan Watson. And here comes Jose. Jose in the first inning, if you're just tuning in, he walked the first time up. He scored. Then later on in that first inning, hit a grand slam homer. And last inning, he grounded out to Brosius. Yeah, Bo was unbelievably fast down the line. And I'm talking about with a big swing, too.
Well, you're talking about a world-class sprinter.
There's no question about it. He's the best athlete I've ever seen. You can talk to all these best 100 athletes that they had last year, all those polls going on. And Michael Jordan's the best performer I ever saw in any sport. And you talking about all around? Bo Jackson, for my money.
You're only saying that because you know Bo's out there listening to you.
Oh, Bo's on the golf course. That ball hit deep. Right size. Wrong shape.
Jose stood there as soon as it was hit. Let us know that was going to hook a little bit. Let's see. He's going to get all of it. Just a little quick. He knew it.
Pull a string on him right there. Here's another one from Jeremy Kafka, Huntley, Illinois, 14 years old. Says, do you guys think the Sox have a chance to make it to the World Series? And what does El Caballo mean when Carlos Lee is hitting? Well, Jeremy, yes, we think the Sox have a chance to get there. And what El Caballo means is El Caballo means the horse. And he's an RBI horse. Carlos Lee, Valentin just does get a piece of it. You're talking about RBI horse. That's El Caballo.
He gets it done. That's when he toughens up. Man in scoring position or on base. These little patented ground balls in the hole that'll work just soft enough to drive the man in.
Got him on the inside corner. Nice pitch by Watson. So that'll return the side. And after 3.5, it is 12-0 White Sox.
You should. I see you up here dreaming about them all the time.
Yeah, when you come to the ball game, you got to have Cracker Jacks, hot dogs, Diet Coke, or a couple of brewskis. Jorge Posada will lead it off. He bounced back to parquet to end the first inning. That was with 2 out, bases loaded. Watch out. 12-10-0 for the Sox, 0-3-0 for the Yankees. And want to send out a big White Sox hello and personal hello to Ken Kaiser, former umpire who I still consider to be the best ball and strike umpire. When he was working in the game, watching in. How you doing, big guy?
Hello, Ken.
Great guy. That ball hit through the hole between first and second. So the leadoff single.
Jimmy. 4 innings, 4 singles, 1 in each inning.
And here's Spencer. His single will lead off the second. Yeah, Kaiser always thought and always said that 7th game of the World Series, glad to have one umpire behind the plate. It'd be Ken Kaiser.
You knew he was in charge, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. There's a short hop. Norton. Durham. Rack him up. Around the horn. 5-4-3. The 78th double play turn by the Sox, and quickly 2 gone.
Norty did something really good right here. He steps up and plays this short hop perfectly. You can't call him Captain Highlight on that. They came way across the bag, still did a leap. Nobody even around him. Force a habit.
That's got to be a fine for Norton.
Why is that?
Because he didn't hit the ground.
He didn't get dirty?
No.
On the follow-through of his throw or anything.
Here's Leyritz, caught looking on a good fastball outside corner. Takes that curveball off the plate. There's a good strike. And like we have seen in all these games here at Yankee Stadium, from Mark Hirschbeck, Wally Bell, Brian O'Nora, now Danny Iasonia, they're doing a good job. We talked about that play yesterday. If you watch that ball game, the only reason that Wally Bell could not get that call correct, he just didn't have a chance to get in position. If he had he would have got that play. That was just a tough call for Wally.
Well, he was right on top of the play. He did everything. He tried to get in a good position, but
he just blocked out.
Greg Norton's body was blocking him out and couldn't see the extension of the leg to the bag or not.
And that's ball 4. So Parquet, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. And here comes Scott Brosius. There's fastball strike.
Mark Jansen down. That's one thing he's just been outstanding. Dropping to his knees and being very soft and knocking those balls down. He really put his glove right between his legs and left no gap open.
That's into center field. That's a can of corn for Singleton. And that'll retire the side. We will go to the 5th. It'll be Thomas, Ordonez, and Canerco. Parquet has shut him down through the first 4 as Big Frank will lead it off. Here in the top of the 5th. 12-10-0 for the Sox, 0-4-0 for the defending world champion New York Yankees. They've won it 3 out of the last 4 years. There's the strike. Frank has doubled in a run, scored. Walked. He's 1 for 2. Outside 2-1.
Frank back on pace. At that 300 average, 100 runs scored, 100 base on balls, 100 RBIs, 30 home runs. Getting it back together.
Yeah, with that record he had, those are phenomenal categories to accomplish all those in one season. The 20 or more home runs, 300 or better average, 100 runs scored, 100 walks. Man, that'll get it done.
Yeah, baby. That's all big numbers.
Flips that one. And that will be out of play. About 4 rows back. Ball 4.
And a reminder, Sunday, July 2nd, the first 20,000 fans at Comiskey Park when the White Sox take on the Red Sox will receive a White Sox dugout towel courtesy of Gatorade. For tickets, call 312-831-1SOX.
Here's Maggs. Maggs has walked twice, doubled, and he scored a pair. Maggs having a big series here at Yankee Stadium. Takes that breaking ball high. And also want to send out a big White Sox hello to Jeff and Susie Torberg, who are probably watching in down in Sarasota, Florida. Jeff did the game the other day. working for Fox. And also, congratulations to his son Dale, the Demon, on WCW. Dale, 6'6", 280 pounds. Look at Dale. I've known him since he was a baby. I understand he and Chrissy, his fiancée, going to be getting married pretty soon. Well, what a nice young man until he steps into that ring.
That probably bodes for all those guys, huh?
The Demon. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you, some of those wrestlers are some of the best guys you ever want to meet. As there's ball 4 to Mags. You met Sergeant Slaughter, one of the great guys you'll ever want to meet. Sarge, 6'7", 350 pounds, doesn't wrestle anymore, but he's still hard as a rock.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was a pleasure to meet him. Nice guy, but not somebody you'd want to upset.
No. We play a lot of golf. If you look at Todd Erdos, Sarge and I played a lot of golf together. He stepped in my line one day, and I hit the putt, had to go through his heel print. It looked like it was a pool table. Went right down into the pocket. About a foot before he got to the hole.
And you didn't say a thing, did you?
Oh, no. Here's Konerko. He's 1 for 3, an RBI single and a run scored in the first. There's a base hit. Frank's going to have to pull up at third. So sacks packed, nobody out here in the top of the 5th.
Paulie swinging that hot stick the last few games. Maybe working it out. He had just been missing stuff, but not anymore. Today he smoked the ball to left field, hit a line drive base hit. He's got 2 line drive base hits.
So the Yankees bring the infield in. Chris is 1 for 2, a 2-run double. Good rip. A walking, and he has scored a pair. Ron Zimmer, Joe Torre. Outfield straight up for Singleton.
Watson's been battling. He's given up 6 hits, 6 walks. A lot of work. He was not even supposed to start this game. He's working it out. Singleton swings through that fastball.
The 1-2 delivery. Carlos Lee on deck. Thomas at third. Mags at second, and Konerko at first. That ball ripped into right field for a base hit. Here comes Frank. They're going to hold Mags at third. O'Neill, with that real strong arm, gets it back in, and it's 13-0. And here comes Joe Torre.
He's going to go to the bullpen. Right-hander Todd Erdos.
So Alan Watson goes 3 1/3. Gives up 4 runs, 6 hits, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Of course, the runners on base, all 3 of them his responsibility. Field apart. And we'll be back.
Year-old Todd Erdos out there for the 2nd time in the series. There you see his numbers. Got 1 save. 23 hits and 18 2/3. 5 base on balls. That's not bad.
Well, he worked 2 1/3 yesterday. He gave up 1 run on 3 hits, 1 walk, had 3 strikeouts, threw the ball well. And as you commented on, he was just working that outside corner to the right-handers consistently. And he worked inside and outside to the left-handers. So here's Carlos Lee, 13-0 Sox here in the top of the 5th. Carlos 2 for 3, an RBI single, a 2-run double, and he has scored 1. Carlos now with 52 ribbies.
Let's see if Erdo stays with what he did yesterday to right-handers, right on that outside corner.
Carlos, just 23 years old. Soon to be 24, a couple of days. Okay. 2-0 the count. Okay. Stacks packed with Sox. Maglio at third. There's Pauly at second. Singleton at first.
Carlos sitting right in the catbird seat. Looking for a fastball down the middle.
You got it.
And taking it. Guess he didn't want to feel greedy and air it out 2-0 in a big lead like this.
Yeah, right.
Hey, you got no other reason not to swing at that.
That one back, and if you're just tuning in, a very happy Father's Day once again to each and all. Happy Father's Day, Feisty.
Oh, happy Father's Day, Papa Hawk.
I love Mother's Day. Man, big White Sox hello to Sylvia Jackson watching in this afternoon out in California. Here's a little chopper. Jeter's only play over to Pino, so Mag scores, and it's 14-0. 4th RBI of the game for El Caballo. It now has 53.
Well, he got the ribby, but not the knock. The best pitch to hit was the 2-0 that he took right down the center.
So Konerko at third, Singleton at second. 1 out. And here's Norton, 0 for 2 with a walk.
He needs to get on the board somehow, get himself a hit just like everybody else.
Takes a strike on the outside corner.
Pitches like that are going to make it tough. The last thing you want on a game like this is to be the only guy shut down.
Norton's just out of sync. Norton's just out of sync up there.
2 tough pitches.
No, I'm not talking about this at bat. I'm just talking about lately. Lately's had some pretty good pitches to hit and fouled them back.
Well, you know,
it happens. You know, stuff happens.
Perry and Raffanino have been getting a little more playing time and throw you a little out of sync.
To the count. Pull the string on him. Nice pitch by Paul Erdos. And with 2 out, that'll bring up Mark Johnson. He's 2 for 3 with the ribby. And we got another email here from Daniel Rafe, age 11, from Wheeling, Illinois. Talking DJ, will Jerry Manuel be the American League Manager of the Year if the Sox stay in first and have the best record at the All-Star break? No, he won't, Daniel. That honor goes to last year's American League champions. Joe Torre will be the manager. I'm talking about that. Last time the Sox were in first place. There's a base hit. Here comes Konerko. Here comes Singleton. Johnson 3 for 4, and it's 16-0 Sox.
Johnson continually rising that average up. Starting to drive in a few runs, too. Getting that swing together. It's a good game. You mentioned it earlier. Put some base hits on the board.
Ray takes ball 1, but the last time the Sox were in first place going into the All-Star break was not 1994. It was 1993. In 1994, Cleveland was 51-33. The Sox were 52-34. So the Indians had a 2 percentage point lead. There's a little flipper. That's going to be a base hit into left field. So Ray 2 hits in his last 2 at-bats. But in 1993, the Sox were 45-41, 1 game ahead of Kansas City. The Sox, 93, was the last time they were in first place at the All-Star break.
He's going to bring up Jose Valentin. Now the Sox have batted around for the 2nd time on the afternoon. 15th time on the year.
Jose 1 for 3, but it was a biggie as he takes a strike on the inside corner. In the first inning, he walked, scored, then later on in the inning, hit a grand slam homer. So Valentin now with 12 homers and 40 knocked in. Count evens at 1.
Well, you can see Jorge Posada is going ahead and working Jose in now as he hooked a fastball sinker down in the way for that grand slam. On the other side of the plate.
There's a chopper to Hopper. Tino's got it. He'll step on the bag, and that'll retire the side. But the Sox put 4 more on the board. We're halfway home, leading by a bunch. Snapshot as we flash back to July of 1990. The last time the Sox were up a 4-game series here at Yankee Stadium, Lance Johnson single scored Sammy Sosa. And Bobby Thigpen's 3rd save of the series won the game for Ken Patterson. Prior to that series, the White Sox hadn't taken 4 in a row in the Bronx since 1964. That's today's snapshot brought to you by Ford. Of course, Jeff Torborg was the manager. That club won 94 ball games that year. Sammy Ellis, along with Torborg. Sammy now the pitching coach for Baltimore. Ivan Calderon making that catch out in left field.
Ivan Calderon. I remember him.
Great guy.
Played against him through the minor leagues.
Great guy. Clay Bellinger will hit here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 16-14-0 for the Sox. 0-4-0 for the Yankees. Knobloch was 0 for 2. That year, Feisty was the most fun I ever had as a broadcaster. In 26 years of broadcast.
Till now.
Yeah, right. That was a fun year. Boy, it was such a... Every day you just couldn't wait to get to the ballpark. That club went out and played their fannies off like this one's doing. That's high into right field. That's a can of corn for Mags. 94-68 that club won.
Well, right now, That record's looking easy to obtain. But we got to get there first.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing is this club, as I said, the chemistry on that ball club was just great. But I can honestly say the chemistry on this ball club is as good, if not better, than any I have ever seen in my entire Major League career, as a player or as an announcer. Here's Jeter. He's 1 for 2.
As much as we're around these guys, we see it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is a great thing to see. This young club, the second youngest in Major League Baseball. They like each other. They respect one another. They get on each other the way you should. Here's a good curveball strike and the count 0-2.
They push each other. They got their own little games that they play to keep themselves motivated amongst each other.
I told you, this is the only club that I have ever seen. It reminded me of that team that we had in Kansas City that went on out to Oakland and won 5 consecutive divisional titles and 3 consecutive world championships. But you have to factor in the minor leagues as well.
Well, there's guys that are in place that are going to step right in if somebody's lost here.
Got him on the outside corner. The backdoor curve. He'll grab some bench for out number 2. Well, you know, that team that we had in Kansas City, I was at first base. Dick Green was at second. Bert Campaneris at shortstop. We had Sal Bando at third. Joe Rudy in left. Rick Mundy in center. Reggie Jackson in right. Catfish Hunter, Blue Moon Odom, and all those guys. But we knew we also had guys like Riley Fingers and Vida Blue and those fellows coming up, you know, from the minor leagues. So you have to factor in the minor league situation to equate it to that team. Well, we've got some outstanding youngsters. Of course, you know, Mark Burley, John Garland. John Roch, the 6'10 right-hander, who pitches like he's about 6'2", 6'3 with his coordination. He's 11-1 down at Winston-Salem.
We got them stacks high down there. I mean, a couple of regular players just wait in the wings also. One is out right now, and Brian Simmons.
Josh Paul, Joe Creedy.
Jeff Leefer.
Jeff Leefer got a chance to be one hell of a hitter, I'll tell you. There's a chopper. Valentin cannot get to that one. Top spin just ate it up. So with 2 out, O'Neill at first. Let's pause for station identification.
This is WGN, entertaining America.
Back at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, along with a feisty one, Darren Jackson, Ken Harrelson, finale of this 4-game set and a 7-game road trip. Sox trying to finish it off as Bernie Williams stands in. He has walked and struck out. Felix Jose has gone in to run for Paul O'Neill at first.
Joe Torre going and giving a few guys a half day off.
Let's chop down foul at the plate.
It's a good day to do it right here. Got a big lead like this. Got to go ahead and say, okay, you guys go get a little rest, regroup. Start again tomorrow, and they're going to Boston.
Sox trying to extend their road winning streak to 11. Last time they did that was back in 1990. Sox that year went on a West Coast swing and ran the table on them. There's Chris Turner on deck. Good for Tino, if Bernie can reach. I still think the key to this whole road trip was the Sunday game against the Cubs.
Well, that got it all started.
When Jerry Manuel showed a lot of courage, some real stones, and holding back Folk and Howery to get his bullpen ready for that Cleveland series. I got a couple of emails the other day saying that, well, from Sox fans saying, well, we wanted to sweep the Cubs. Well, the Monday game, starting off this 7-game road trip, was more important to the Sox than sweeping the Cubs. That's into center field. Singleton's got it, and that'll retire the side. We'll go to the 6th, leading by 16.
The authority of the Chicago White Sox.
That's the story here in the top of the 6th inning. Some changes. Clay Bellinger remains in the ballgame at second base for Knobloch. Felix Jose goes in for Paul O'Neill. Moving in to first base in the catching position will be Jorge Posada. And moving in behind the plate, Chris Turner. So Frank Thomas will lead it off. It'll be Thomas, Ordonez, and Konerko. Frank 1 for 2, 2 walks, an RBI double, and he scored a pair. Breaking ball fouled away.
Well, I guess you can consider Posada moving to first base a quarter of a day off since he's not catching anymore. The guy's got half day off that he just took out of the ball game.
0-2 the count. Six-year-old right-hander out of Meadville, Pennsylvania, Todd Erdos. High into center field. Bernie Williams, if it comes down, will make that play. And once again, a reminder, make your plans to be with us at Comiskey Park tomorrow night for the start of that 4-game set with the Tribe. If you can't, we'll have it for you over WCIU Channel 26. And our next telecast over WGN Sports will be next Friday against the defending world champion New York Yankees. Here's Maggs. Maggs is 1 for 1. He's walked 3 times and he scored 3 times.
Big day yesterday, 4 RBIs. Following it up with a solid day today. And that hot stick again.
Out of play right side.
For the whole month of June, the team is back up to scoring over 7 runs per game. Just like in April, where they set the record for runs scored. 181 runs in a month. Just that one bad month where they had the suspensions. They didn't keep it hot.
Vaughn Joshua, hitting coach. You guys were talking with Paul Konerko the other night in Cleveland, and I told Vaughn after the thing was over, you know, Paulie was scuffling. There was no question about that. I told him, I said, Vaughn, I said, you told him something after there that I thought was just terrific. That pitch fouled over the Yankee dugout. He told me, he says, Paulie, there's nothing wrong with you. He says, you're not that far away. Usually, you know, a lot of times there's so many coaches that try to overanalyze. He said, there's nothing wrong with you. I got nothing to tell you. Just get up there, and boy, since that time, he is just swinging the bat.
He just told him he had to get it a little load, a little key work in there. He wasn't taking his hands back. He was just starting from one spot and going forward. So load him up a little bit, and you'll be fine.
Boy, the worst thing you can do, as you know, DJ, is have somebody get in your head, trick that mind a little bit, get you thinking. That's the last thing a hitter wants to do is get his wheels turning.
I was telling him the same thing. I said, Paulie, I mean, you don't really have that much wrong right now. You're just pulling off the ball a little bit, maybe, which same thing that Vaughn was really saying is he's just being a little too quick, not going back. I guess something registered because he's been swinging the bat since.
Yeah. That's high down the right field line. Felix Jose giving chase, and that'll be back about 3 rows. So the count hangs full to Mags Ordonez. One thing in my experience in baseball that you get to know is that when a young hitter, especially a young hitter, comes to you, say, what do you think? If you don't know exactly what it is, you're better off just saying, hey, just stay with it. That's all. Just stay with it. Don't put any extraneous thoughts into their mind.
Well, he definitely wasn't far off anyway.
No, he wasn't.
He's just not locked in yet. Now it's coming back to him.
And that's ball 4 so far, the 4th time in this game. Mags draws the base on balls. Yankee pitching has issued 8 walks, and here comes Konerko. He's 2 for 4. A couple of singles, an RBI, and a couple of runs scored.
A line missile out to the left fielder, Shane Spencer, in the 3rd inning. Well, last season, he swung the bat like he has today for an extended period of time.
Slider just off the plate.
Maybe this will be the start of it again, because we haven't really seen him, except for at the very beginning of the season, swinging the bat really, really well. Last year we saw it for a few months.
Curveball down, and the count 2-0. After 6 at Comerica Park, Tigers leading Cleveland 3-1. Can't get that high heater. 2 balls and a strike to Konerko. After 6 at Fenway Park, Toronto shutting out Boston 4-0. Frank Castillo on the mound. Well, he pitched 2 games against us this year, and he was outstanding in both of them.
And his last outing, he had a outstanding game. I think he won it.
Flips that one foul over the Yankee dugout. Back into the seats. Oakland leading Kansas City 12-2 after 3 at Kauffman Stadium. After 4 at Wrigley, Montreal and the Cubs are tied at 1. Colorado playing some good baseball, shutting out the D-backs 2-0 after 2 at Coors Field. Mets 5, Milwaukee 1 after 5 at County Stadium. Full count. The ball hit hard right at Felix Jose. Makes the basket catch. That's another hang whoop'em for Konerko. You just stay right where you're at, Paulie. He's swinging that wood.
Well, using the whole field. His first at bat drove a ball into right center field. This time right at the right fielder. Line drive right at the left fielder. He's done it all.
Here's Chris, 2 for 3, 3 RBIs and 3 runs scored. Goes through the gas. Hello. I'm sorry, DJ's not here.
He need help, man. He do.
That phone right next to us. 0-2 the count.
You should just seek it now.
Yeah, I got to go see Dr. Schwartz when I get back.
There you do. So the help that you have received has not done well for you.
Oh, you should have seen me before I went to see.
Oh, my goodness. Glad I didn't.
One and 2 the count.
Sounds like it's right here next to me.
It does, man. It's been that way forever. Come on, Chris, to get you another one. Just off the plate. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out.
There it is. That's Hawk's phone. The whole world has its number.
Not for long. That will be changed this week. And that's off the plate. You know, it's amazing how many people get your number, but you don't give it to them.
Well, it's amazing that you answer the phone, because I've seen that phone ring maybe 30 times a day. It's pretty amazing.
Well, when you got places to go, people to see, and things to do, you know, you got to use yourself. Fouls that pitch back.
You've definitely been teaching me. That's why mine rings twice a day. Nobody calls me. 2 phones, each of them ring once. As I said, one works one place, the other one works the other.
Once again, the payoff pitch. Just hitting at 263 to go along with those 6 homers. And 32 RBIs. Well, he made a big catch yesterday. That was a brilliant catch he made off. As he gets jammed right there.
Bat of Bernie Williams. Straightaway center. Went back.
Posada
went back and tore a hole in that padding on the center field wall.
that they have already repaired.
You said it. They heard you. They needed a seamstress to get out there, and they got right on it.
Or a seams man.
Oh, yeah, now you go both ways.
No. As he gets it. And that'll retire the side. After 5.5, Sox by a bunch. Bottom of the 6th inning. Chris Turner will lead it off, hitting in Tino Martinez's spot. Tino was 0 for 2 in this ball game, 2 for 15 in the series. Tony Graffinino at second. Abbott right. Changes for the Sox. 16-14-0 for the good guys. 0-5-0 for the Yankees. Breaking ball strike. 1-2 to Turner. Sox won the opener of this 4-game set, 12-3. Mike Soroka pitched well, picking up the victory. As there's a little flipper, base hit into right field. Little duck snort by Turner. And here's Jorge Posada. He's 1 for 2. But on Friday, James Baldwin, picking up his 10th victory against just 1 defeat, was outstanding. Sox won that ball game 3-1. And yesterday, Cal Eldred picking up his 6th consecutive victory. And there's a base hit in the left. That gets by Carlos Lee. They're going to wave Turner around. Yankees get on the board at 16-1.
Well, the first extra base hit of the game for the Yankees, and it's driving their first run also. Posada hitting much better from the right side. Drives this ball in the gap, a little slider in. Takes off once it hits that gap.
Shane Spencer stands in. He has singled and hit into a 5-4-3 double play. Now Parquet in. Mark Johnson wanted to have a little chit-chat. hack and a hook. Good curveball from Parquet.
What he's got to do, continue to mix it up. That's the one pitch that they seem to be way out in front of.
There's a changeup, flips that one into center field. Well, Posada comes around. No, they hold him at third.
Okay, well, I guess Willie Randolph, remembering the arm that Chris Singleton has, decides he's not going to take any chances in a ball game like this. The problem is, Chris Singleton wasn't charging the ball to throw anybody out. He was getting it into second base, get the double play in order.
Here's Leyritz. Struck out and walks. Takes a strike. Starts him off with a change. (16-1) Sox here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Waves at that curveball, which he pulled a string on it. And a count 0-2. Another curveball, good try coming in.
Hello. No, Hawk's busy right now.
Close pitch. 2-2. Full count. Broke his bat. Graffinino is there. Nice pitch. 1 out.
And here's a reminder, Field of Green's golf tournament is Monday, August 7th. Harborside Golf Course. Proceeds will benefit Chicago White Sox charities and our efforts to cure cancer in children. All money raised will be given to Children's Memorial Hospital and the Children's Hospital at the University of Chicago. For details, call 312-674-1000.
So here's Scott Brosius. He has popped to second, and he is flying to center. That's hit deep to left. Hanging curveball. And it's 16-4. Well, Brosius number 5, and he now has 22 ribbies.
Careful here because he's on the verge of having himself a tough day right here. He's got a hanging breaking ball. No doubt that was a roller and it was up. Gotta hang tough in there. Have a good day for himself.
Well, we talked about in a big lead like this for the opposition hitters. I mean, this is just a good time to hit. Talked about it a lot, that there are a lot of guys made a lot of money for a lot of years munching up in times like this.
Well, this is a time where it's up to Parquet to keep that from happening.
That's right. And it's good experience, too, because you still have to try to maintain that intensity. It's a nothing ball game. As Nardi Contreras comes out, and it's tough to do. It takes sometimes, it takes more than a couple of several years for a young pitcher to learn how to maintain that intensity.
Jim Parquet is like a little banty rooster out there anyway. Normally, he's very feisty. And he shouldn't have any problem doing it. But he doesn't want to turn this into a bad outing for himself.
Boosting up. And the count 2-0 to Bellinger. Three and nothing. There's one. Come back and get it, Jimmy. Jammed him right there. So the count full. Into the bat into left center field. Singleton is there. And it's out number 2. So 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Derek Jeter.
Got a feeling that Jimmy can get out of this inning. That's going to probably be it. Over 100 pitches thrown for the day.
Deep in the center field. Singleton back. He's there right in front of the track. Makes the catch, and it'll retire the side. But the Yankees come up with a 4 spot. We'll go to the 7th, leading by 12. That's the story here as you check out our Southwest Airlines tail of the tape. The Harlem River. It's not where you want to go water skiing.
Stay out of that water. You want none of that in your mouth.
Carlos Lee will lead it off here in the Sox half of the 7th. First pitch in the hole, Derek Jeter. Look at the jump, the throw. And Posada could not make the pick. That'll be a base hit for El Caballo. Boy, can he get some mustard on that throw with that jump over to first?
I can't believe. I thought he was going to throw some kind of rainbow over there. Instead, he throws some gas across the infield. That's a strong arm right there. Just a in-between hop.
Well, first of all, there's not that many shortstops that use that jump throw. But of all the ones I've ever seen, he can get more on that throw over to first than anybody I've ever seen.
I played with Sean Dunston. He used to do that early in his career. And he had a cannon. I remember he probably threw a comparable to that.
Here's Norton. Takes down low. Well, as we've talked about in previous telecasts, the best arm I've ever seen. The shortstop was Eddie Brinkman. But even Brinky Boy couldn't jump up and get as much on it as on that jump throw as Jeter. Change up. 21 to count. He's something. He's a player.
Yeah, he'll do.
There's a ground ball. Posada up with it. Down to Jeter. No return throw. So 1 out. And that'll bring up our catcher, Mark Johnson. He's 3 for 4 today with 3 RBIs. So the pick to click of Lexi, Nick, Christina Bina, and Elena Strafford. For big Sox fans down in Granger, Indiana, their pick to click doing very well. Lays off the high one.
That average up to 244 and rising.
Well, he finished up very strong the last 2 months last year. Off one. Good pitch by Erdos.
Tony stepping right in this White Sox uniform and just contributing right from the beginning. Unbelievable defensive plays. He Closed it out on a tough play yesterday.
Got a high breaking pitch right there. Well, Cleveland has come back to take a 9-4 lead over the Tigers. That's after 6 at Comerica Park. Cubs leading Montreal 3-1 after 6 at Wrigley. And after this half inning, we will have our Miller Lite Major League scoreboard for you. The 1-2 pitch. That's into left center field. Nobody's going to get that one. Well, Norton now waved around. No throw by Jeter. He'll score. And it's 17-4 on the RBI single by Tony Graffinino.
Well, there he goes, helping out again. Not that it's a lot of help in a 16 to now 17-4 game, but helping himself out, driving in that big run for himself and scoring Greg Norton.
So here's Jose. 1 for 4, a grand slam homer in the first. That made it a 9-0 Sox lead if you're just tuning in. Only home run the Sox have. The Yankees have one. Scott Brosius just hit it in the 6th. One and 1 to count. There's Herbert Perry out on deck to hit for Big Frank. Just joining us, Sox with 9 in the first, 3 in the second, 4 in the 5th, 1 so far here in the 7th. All 4 for the Yankees coming last inning. 2 balls and a strike.
These guys have been hitting people in scoring position all day. You hate to make it seem like you're running the score up, but they're out there and you got to pick them up. Got to run hard and still try and score runs for your teammates.
Watch out. There is no such thing as running the score up in baseball unless you're out there with a big lead, stealing bases and all that stuff.
In certain situations where you don't push it, it's going to be a close play on, say, a deep fly ball or medium fly ball. You don't take the extra base and little things like that. You don't swing 3-0.
There's one thing about it. As he got him inside fastball. Second strikeout for Erdos. 2 gone, and here's Herbert Perry. But unlike other sports, football and basketball, baseball is entirely different because when you're on offense, the other team controls the ball. So there's no running of scores in baseball. Not with a bat.
And there's no time clock either. You can just kill some time until the game's over. They've got to make the plays.
Perry hitting at .264, 3 homers. He's driven in 10. Takes ball 1. Breaking ball off the plate, 2-0. Well, I have seen a couple of occasions in my baseball career that teams tried to make outs.
Oh, I've seen that also.
Yeah. Raining, you got a big lead. You want to get that game in officially.
Get there and swing at the first thing they see.
3-0.
That's not the case today. The weather's okay. Yeah, he's going to get a good pitch to hit if they can get one right there. They'll lay into it.
That'd look good on you, Feisty. That beard.
Well, I had one this offseason just like that.
Did you?
No. I couldn't grow one like that.
That's outside, ball 4. So that will load him up. And here comes Jeff Abbott.
You're easy. You're gullible.
Well, I just didn't want to say that the one you got right now is getting that color.
No. The only reason you don't have one is because it is that color.
No, I can't grow one. So here's Joe Torre.
I think I've seen a picture or two of you with a somewhat of a mustache.
That was fake.
It had to be. It looked like it.
It was. So Todd Erdos will depart. We'll be back. 22-year-old right-hander Jake Westbrook yesterday made his major league debut in that start. As you can see, went an inning and 2/3, gave up 6 runs, 7 hits, 2 walks, had no strikeouts. He's 6'3", 185 pounds, born in Athens, Georgia, home of the Georgia Bulldogs. Pretty good sinker, but he was just behind in the count all day yesterday.
That's what hurt him. Maybe he'll be a little more effective today because there's not a lot of pressure on him right now to just come in here and throw strikes.
So here's Abbott hitting for Maggs. Maggs was 1 for 1, 4 walks, and he scored 3 times. Here's a sinker strike outside corner. Sox pack 2 out here in the top of the 7th. Jammed him right there. And a fine catch by one of the cameramen. Good play. The 0-2 pitch. Westbrook has some real good minor league numbers. There's a ground ball. Nice play by Brosius. Up with it. Over to Posada. And that'll retire the side. Sox do pick up 1. 7th inning stretch. Leading 17-4. Cincinnati is San Diego, and St. Louis taking on the Dodgers in L.A. Kevin Byrne comes on, making his 8th appearance. Felix Jose comes to the plate for the first time. Can't get the Byrne fastball. 52,856 in attendance. 54,053 yesterday. 41,910 on Friday. 30,803 on Thursday. One and 2 the count. So Kevin, who picked up his first Major League victory on Wednesday against Cleveland. Boy, he really pitched well in that game. 3 2/3, no runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, had 3 strikeouts. As that ball will be souvenir time, left side.
Yeah, that last outing for Kevin was very good for him to get back on track. His outings have been spread out so far. This is about as close to games he's pitched in back-to-back. He's been here a couple of months already.
There's a shot off the glove of Norton. Good try by Greg. So the leadoff single.
Johnson just wanted that fastball up a little more than it was. Could have got it to a spot, probably wouldn't have been hit that hard.
Here's Ricky Leday, 26-year-old outfielder, making his first plate appearance. Bernie Williams 0 for 2. Oh, what a day he had yesterday, though. 4 for 4, 7 RBIs. As first pitch strike to Ricky Leday. (17, 16-0 for the Sox, 4-10-0 for the Yankees. There's a bullet right to Konerko. Can't get there in time. That's a hang whoopper.
And a reminder, every Tuesday at 3 o'clock, log on to WhiteSox.com and register to chat live with players, coaches, and White Sox personnel. That's every Tuesday at 3 on WhiteSox.com. Let's see, Paul right here. Line missile right to him, just like playing catch. Tries to hustle and get Felix Jose, and no chance.
Chris Turner takes a strike. That's a little bit low. Well, that was a beautiful thing that Kevin did last Wednesday in Cleveland, boy. I'll tell you. As you mentioned, DJ, he needed it, and the club needed it. There's a good fastball. He just came out after that tough outing that he had against Cincinnati, and he was just like 180 degrees as far as mound presence and aggressiveness.
No, he definitely looked focused, because that wasn't him. That game that he threw in Cincinnati, it's been a long time in between appearances.
Curveball, that's in the dirt. No advance by Felix Jose.
You and I both know if you don't get to work out of that bullpen or get off that bench very often, doesn't matter how much you practice, you're just not going to stay sharp.
It's hard to hit sitting on the bench. It's hard to pitch from that bullpen. Fouls the fastball back. Jorge Posada on deck. Once again, a reminder, make your plans to be with us at Comiskey Park. Sox coming home. 4 games with the Indians starting tomorrow night. Skip Wells against Bartolo Colon. That breaking ball high. So the Sox on a nice homestand. 4 with Cleveland, 3 with the Yankees, 3 with Minnesota, 3 with Boston. In a short 3-game road trip to Kansas City, coming back on the 7th, 8th, and 9th of July. As that's into left center field. Carlos El Caballo making the calls. Got the ball. The 7th, 8th, and 9th of July. That 3-game set against the Cubs at Wrigley. Earlier, this road trip right here, Indians averaged over 42,000 a game. Yankees averaging over 45,000 a game for this series. These youngsters like to play in front of the crowds. They like to strut their stuff.
Well, you know, it's been hard to get the big sell there at Comiskey Park. So you take advantage of it wherever you go. If you get the big crowds, yeah, you get up for it.
One and one to count to Posada. Jorge's 2 for 3, a single and an RBI double. He also has scored a run. I mentioned Wells against Cologne tomorrow night. If you can make it to Comiskey Park, it'll be over WCIU. The remaining 3 games of that Cleveland series will be over Fox Sports Net. Tuesday, Sorotka against Brower. That's outside. Wednesday, James Baldwin against Dave Burba. And the finale on Thursday, Big Cal Eldred goes for his 7th straight victory against the 6'6" southpaw Chuck Finley. That's into left field. Carlos giving ground. Back at the wall. He's there. Makes the catch. And that'll retire the side. Nothing across. One left. We'll go to the 8th, leading by 13. In the background, son of former Sox manager Jeff Torborg, holding up our Toyota game summary. 17-16-0 for the Sox, 4-10-0 for the Yankees. Sox have batted around twice. Valentin, his 5th career grand slam. El Duque was roughed up. 2/3 of an inning, 6 hits, 9 earned runs. As that's our Toyota game summary, supported by the Demon, Dale Torborg. Here's Konerko. Volley 2 for 5, RBI single. And he scored a couple of times, and he has hit the ball hard today. Whew. The only time he didn't was Maglio led off the second with a double. He got him over as there's a strike from Westbrook, and the count evens at 1. Ricky Leday moves into center field for Bernie Williams. Wilson Delgado moves in. The shortstop is there's a shot. Konerko. Get hot, Paulie.
Maybe his time is now, because he's just been off, and he is smoking it today. 5 times he's hit the ball on the button today.
So here's Chris. Chris 2 for 4. 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored. Sinker low. And also, if you're just joining us, you see all these blue wristbands being worn by umpires, the players, most of the players, coaches and managers. That is for Cap Cure, and that is for research for prostate cancer. Yesterday they were giving away, for every home run, $55,000 for each one. So yesterday's game raised $165,000 for Cap Cure. A couple of evenings ago, Tommy Lasorda, Michael Milken came up. Michael Milken also matching all that money given to research. 3-1. I love Tommy Lasorda.
Is that why you two were up here kissing so much?
He's a great guy. What a great ambassador. That ball hit into left center field. A day on his horse. Slicing away from him, but he's there. He got a good jump. Makes a nice basket catch. And that's out number 1.
And here's a reminder that Saturday, July 1st, the first 15,000 adults at Comiskey Park when the White Sox take on the Red Sox will take home a 1917 replica White Sox cap courtesy of Miller Lite. For tickets, call 312-8311-SOX.
Here's Lee. 3 for 5. 4 RBIs. Takes first pitch strike. Now Tommy has just been a wonderful asset to the game of baseball.
Well, there's no doubt about that. And what's going to be doing this summer?
He's going to be coaching our Olympic team in Australia. That ball hit hard into right field. Felix Jose is there. Like Tommy said, he told him, I didn't take this job to go 6,000 miles to lose.
Baseball's definitely in his blood, as is the bench coach here for the Yankees.
That's right. They're 2 peas out of a pod.
Don Zimmer.
So here's Norton. He's 0 for 4. There's Popeye. That might be the best picture I've ever seen of Popeye right there. And his great wife, Soot. Wonderful people. That's inside. You ought to play golf with Zimmer sometime. I tell you, you told me to laugh.
Oh, I can't imagine being more entertained.
Oh, I mean, when he gets from 100 yards in, there's no such thing as a wedge. It's the putter, man. That old Texas wedge. I don't care if there's a bunker right in front of the green.
He's gonna burn it up there.
Burn it through it, man. He's beautiful. There's a chopper, two-hopper. Posada's got it. And that'll retire the side. We're through 7.5. Sox on top. 17-4 Sox in the finale of this 4-game series here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, and this 7-game road trip. 3 in Cleveland, 4 here in New York. Shane Spencer will lead it off. Shane 2 for 3. And he scored a run. Kevin Byrne, strike on the outside corner. Curveball into left. Can of corn for El Caballo.
That's a heck of a curveball right there from Kevin Byrne.
He's got a heck of a curveball.
I mean, that is a big, hard-breaking, right-handed hook.
Remember that last trip in here when he just froze Bernie?
2 straight breakers, struck him out.
Bernie, it's been a while since Bernie's seen one like that. Here's Leyritz, 0 for 2 with a walk. There's strike 1. That's inside. I haven't had a chance to, I've not had a chance to meet Kevin's parents, but I'll tell you what, they got to be great people. They certainly have a great young man for a son. There's a fastball upstairs. He is a nice person.
Yeah, he's a good kid. Takes a lot of heat in there, being a rookie in the locker room, but
that's part of it.
He handles it so well.
Oh yeah, he's gone. Just froze Leyritz. So 2 gone.
If you haven't seen that curveball from Kevin Byrne and you're right-handed and he throws it with 2 strikes, you can do exactly what Jim Leyritz does. Buckle.
That is right off the table.
Oh.
Look at that buckle right there. Hey, Jimmy, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you, man. I've been there a few hundred times.
Well, that's one of the reasons Kevin's here right now, because he can definitely lock up some right-handed hitters.
Here's Brosius. Fastball upstairs. Scott 1 for 3, a 3-run homer. And another fine outing by Jim Parquet. Boy, there's a little tiger out there again. And that's a 1-2-3, a quick 1-2-3 inning. That's the first 1-2-3 inning of this ball game. And we'll go to the 9th by a whole bunch. Top of the 9th inning. Sox by 13. It'll be Johnson, Graffinino, and Valentin. Mark 3 for 4 today with 3 RBIs, hitting at 244. Ground ball right side. Bellinger off the glove, controls it. Oh, 2 pitches, 1 out.
And here's a reminder, Sunday, June 25th, the White Sox take on the Yankees. It's Willy Wonka's Kids Day presented by Oompas. Kids get autographs before the game and run the bases after. Plus, kids get tickets for only $1 at Comiskey Park. Windows on the day of the game. For details, call 312-674-1000.
Tony Graffinino's been able to play 1 time, a single, and an RBI. Takes breaking ball strike. We certainly hope that Craig Wilson is coming along nicely with that herniated disc he had. Craig, a big part of the chemistry of this ball club. Fine player.
And he was trying to tough it up and play with that disc in his back, and he just couldn't get it done.
Who is? Have you ever had a herniated disc?
No.
Me either.
He just had a bad neck. I know that's not even close, but I couldn't work with that.
There's a chopper right side, 2-hopper. Bellinger. And right now, let's check out our Miller Genuine Draft play of the game. Coming in the first inning. Sox already on top 5-0. Bases loaded. Jose Valentin at the plate. Feisty.
Oh, he hooked himself a sinker that was off the outside corner and pulls it over the 385 sign out here for his 5th grand slam of his career.
So a 9-0 Sox lead after a half inning. There's a shot base hit. Down into the corner. Another extra base hit for Jose Valentin. 18th double.
There it goes again. Not trying to do too much. Just running fastball away. Slaps it down that left field line.
34 extra base hits. 18 doubles, 4 triples, 12 homers, and 40 ribbies.
That'll work.
Here's Herbert. He's been to the plate one time and he walked. Breaking ball, no. New York Times book review section with Groucho. That's going to be you in about 8 years.
What?
You're going to look just like that shot of Groucho right there.
Do they?
Good chance of it. Only you don't smoke cigars without the cigar. Jesus Pena loosening up.
Well, why are you getting personal on me? I haven't picked on you today.
Yeah, you have. How to play right side, upper tank.
Maybe I have. But you should be able to take it. You're more mature than me.
Well, I know that.
No. Let me take that back.
No, you don't have to take it back.
No, you're about the most immature grandpa coach I've ever met.
Hey, age is only a state of mind.
Well, there's no doubt in your case, that's for sure.
That's into center field. So Dale make that catch. That'll retire the side. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Lead. Sox leading by a whole bunch in a pitching change coming off of Kevin Byrne. It'll be the 25-year-old southpaw, Jesus Pena. Pena making his 8th appearance, 1-1, 5.40 ERA. Opponent sitting just 2.19 against him. So another impressive performance by Kevin Byrne coming on. Back in the 7th inning, gave up a leadoff single to Felix Jose, and then he just retired the next 6 he saw.
2 straight strong outings for Kevin. It's good. Just start helping this bullpen out just like everybody else.
It'll be the top of the order for the Yankees. Clay Bellinger, Wilson Delgado, and Felix Jose. Bellinger's been to the plate twice. And he's 0 for 2. He's fly to right and he's fly to center. Takes low ball 1. There's a strike, fastball on the outside corner. Now there's a final from Comerica Park, 9-4 Cleveland over the Tigers. Oakland leading Kansas City 21-2 after 6 at Kauffman Stadium. Two and 1 to count.
Jesus right now has to go ahead and work ahead of the hitters.
That pitch popped up. Somebody, who is it? Graffinino now. And while we have a moment, let's check out what's coming your way over WGN.
During the Roaring 20s, a young playwright agrees to have his project financed by gangsters. But with this crazy cast, his ensemble piece just might fall to pieces. John Cusack, Bullets Over Broadway. Tonight at 7 Eastern on WGN.
So here's the switch-hitting shortstop, Wilson Delgado. There's a strike. Sox trying to finish it off and finish this 7-game road trip against Cleveland and the Yankees off at 7-0. Picking up their 11th straight road victory. The 14th out of the last 15 games. And out of the last 22 road games, their 18th win. There's a strike. What a pickup, what a player. Whew. Valentin. He's gone. He'll grab some bench. 2 out. He just reached back, put a little giddy up on that one.
Yeah, he did. Snuck that straight fastball right down the middle, right by Delgado. I'm ready for that.
Felix Jose into the play once, and he singled. Takes the ball. Make your plans to be with us tomorrow night at Comiskey Park. Sox return home. Start off that 4-game set with the Indians, followed by the weekend series against these Yankees. 2-0. There's a strike. Attaboy, Jesus. No walks. Outfield straight up, spread out. Montreal has come back to tie the Cubs at 3 after 7 at Wrigley. There's another strike and a count 2-2. Full count. Super move by the skipper, Jerry Manuel, as we talked about. Key to this road trip. Oh, getting his bullpen ready in that Sunday game against the Cubs. And that's out of play right side. Payoff. Yes, he did. He's gone. This ball game is over, so the Sox indeed sweep this 7-game road trip. They win this one 17-4, and we'll be back.